Welcome into Extra Time. Thanks all of you for your questions. There were a lot of you with questions. I have a long list on my sheet today.
Good. Did you vet them?
Ahead of El Clásico, is it still the biggest club fixture in the world? Wonders Sam. What do we think? Any question at all?
Yes, and again.
Always was, always will be, yeah?
And yes.
Well, I wonder why it is. Gab, is it even a question?
I wouldn't say always was, but at different times there might have been other ones. But right now, yes, without any question.
Not if you live in Glasgow.
Well,
yes, unless you live in Glasgow. Sorry.
There you go.
Different perspective.
Horatio.
Yeah.
Real United in Kumala.
Yeah.
Biggie.
Yeah.
Any other places specific that you want to mention?
Derby, I mean, not because of the trials and tribulations of both clubs, but the Milan derby, I suppose it is still big, but in terms of the teams previously, it was huge as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's probably the game I say would look forward to the most. This one.
Have you been to the Milan derby? Have you ever graced it with your?
Are you having a laugh? You couldn't pay him to go to it again. What makes you
You
seriously
could pay him to go.
Hold on.
People do pay him.
He's been.
Give me one reason why you thought he might have been to a Milan
People
derby.
do pay him to go to games.
Because he has been.
He has a history of going
He's
to games.
covered it.
I wasn't
No.
there. I wasn't. Of course, I wasn't just watching the game. I was working. I was
See, people get out of Glasgow, you know, Steve.
I was at the San
Do they?
Siro. Have I mentioned I was at the San Siro? I was at the San Siro for a game
Name dropper.
when
at the San Siro,
when Mourinho was manager, and I think Milito got the goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would that be 2010?
He got most of those goals in that year.
2010, around then.
The Prince.
It was a great game.
Milito.
I mean, heck of an atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
I must admit, it was as good an atmosphere as I think I've been to. Honestly, it was
Better
really
than
good.
Leicester Watford the other night. You were there too, weren't you?
hey, he's taking shots over here.
Somebody must be telling him in his
So we
ear
better-
because he doesn't know that.
So was it better than Rangers Celtic
Yes.
when yous were getting rid of trying to knock them off the park?
Well, I don't know because I wasn't in the crowd then. So it's hard to tell.
Don, still the biggest fixture?
I think so. I think, like Craig, I was in the San Siro for the
Oh,
Champions League
there we
semi-final.
go.
It was 2002.
All right, you've been to the San
Everybody's been
Siro.
to the San Siro. Everybody's gone to the
Paid
San
my
Siro.
money. I paid my money as a fan, and I went to watch the Champions League semi-final in the San Siro. That takes some beating, but as a watch, it was probably the only game, the El Clásico, that every time I was a player, I used to look forward to watching, whether it be a Saturday night or a Sunday night. I tuned in and I never ever missed it.
Yeah.
Right,
I've been to the San Siro as well.
Have you been?
Champions League final, yes. I was there for
No.
Champions League.
So there's only two people here because I'm presuming Gab obviously has been to the San Siro. So I'm presuming, have you been to the San Siro?
No, I've been to the new camp. I've not been.
I'm not asking you about the
Never
new.
asked you where you haven't been to.
Have you been to the San Siro?
No, I haven't been to San Siro.
There's only two of us in.
Right.
It needs. I mean, it's a little bit dilapidated, I must admit.
Right.
Well-
Gab, moving on. Bar Malo wants to know. Jorge Mendes claiming that Ronaldo would have won the Ballon d'Or at Madrid implies that Madrid heavily influenced the voting process, therefore discrediting Ronaldo's previous Ballon d'Or wins. It's more of a statement than a question, but any reaction?
You know what? First of all, I know that a lot of people don't care about this. If you want to give Mendes the benefit of the doubt, you could also argue that he's saying, and this is how I choose to interpret it, that the Ballon d'Or has an enormous proportion of absolute numpties who don't follow the game, who only tune into certain matches, and because Real Madrid have a bigger worldwide following than Juventus, they probably forgot that Ronaldo was even playing when he moved to Juventus, and so didn't vote for him. I think that is how a rational person can maybe rationalize what Jorge Mendes said. Why? Well, I know why Mendes cares about it, because he cares about it because Ronaldo cares about it. Why Ronaldo cares about it is beyond me. Why a bunch of people you've never met, what they think of you in a popularity contest, is frankly absolutely silly.
I had no idea that Italians use the word numpties.
I'm just going to say, I'm just glad, absolute numpties at that. Gab went with that.
I learned it from you, Stevie.
And of all the years to
You're
complain,
never too old to learn.
of all the years to complain, if you're Jorge Mendes, this is not the one. Because it's not. The question wasn't whether it was Messi or Ronaldo to win it. It was Messi and Van Dijk to win.
Yeah, exactly. Stevie, Jeremy, was the Villa celebration a bit excessive tonight in the Carabao Cup, considering the opposition? Hashtag leg guitar.
No.
The old.
No, listen. When was the last time Villa got anywhere near a major tournament final? So
2012.
Well, there you go. So they've got themselves into the
Wasn't that long ago, but-
semi-finals, and
Right.
for some of these players, they may never ever get even close to going and playing a final. So I have no problem with them celebrating.
Right. Don, this one for you. Would Timo Werner be a good fit at Chelsea?
Ooh, I thought you were going to say Liverpool because it'd be a good fit there. I think Timo Werner anywhere in the Premier League would be a good fit. I've always liked him. I think he's one of the quickest out there. He knows where the back of the net is. He's only young as well. Plays with high energy. So I think he'd be sensational for the Premier League.
Could have been any player there.
Yeah.
Could have been any player. But he'd been a good fit at I thought he'd been a good fit at Liverpool.
18 goals in the Bundesliga.
Oh, it'd be.
Like to see him at Chelsea?
Would I like to see him at Chelsea? I don't particularly care.
But what do you?
You're not bothered, eh?
Not bothered. Timo Werner would be. I don't think he'd struggle.
Not bothered.
I don't think he'd struggle. Well,
Yeah.
I have no preference. Should I put it that way? I have no preference. I'm not going to mention Liverpool here.
Right.
Again, I'll leave that to others.
How would he do it at San Siro?
Yes, that's a good question. They'll use him.
Would you
Well-
be watching when he did it?
Well, I
That's the
think he'd do particularly well for Inter. AC Milan would be a different story. Now, he's clearly a good player who eventually is going to have to make, I would think, a big move. And
Yeah. Now, neither of these players play at the San Siro. Ali, Kevin De Bruyne or Eden Hazard? Simple choice.
At their best.
At their best. Which one?
Their very best.
Yep. Very, very, very top of their
In Hazard.
abilities. Eden Hazard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I say
That
squadron.
was I think, a sigh of dissension from Don.
Well,
was
that's
it?
all right. That's all right.
He'd fit at Liverpool.
Wow.
Go on, Don.
It's got to be De Bruyne, isn't it? I mean, I got asked on social media the other day,
Oh, here we
who
go.
does Kevin De Bruyne remind you of? And I was
Yourself.
trying to think, and the only two I could come up with, if you amalgamated the two of them, would be Steven Gerrard and David Beckham.
I thought you were going to say Craig Burley.
Oh, and Craig Burley, yeah, because he's better than David Beckham according to Craig Brown.
Only at crossing the ball.
Is that another one of Brownie?
Yes. No, nobody delivers the ball better.
Better than Craig Burley.
Who's going to be
To
the...
be fair, I could whip it in, but I wasn't there. I did see the lads laughing out the corner of my eye. It was duly noted. I don't know. That's a
Hazard De
tough one.
Bruyne. We need a tiebreaker here. We got...
I like De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then Hazard carried Chelsea for a few years, didn't he? So it's a tough one.
Aye.
All right, so we'll just...
Are you kidding, Stevie?
That's a tough one. I tell you, that is a toughie.
Well, I tell you what, you on
Get
tomorrow?
off the fence,
No.
man.
No,
Get off
I'm-
the fence.
I'll tell you on Thursday. I'm off tomorrow. I'll think about it tomorrow.
How much are you going to think about it?
A lot.
Well, think about this one from Hisham. Do Spurs still need Christian Eriksen?
Depends what version we're talking about. The one
current
they've
one, I
got now,
guess.
no, they can get rid of him as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if Mourinho is able to get the former version of
Oh.
Eriksen back, do they still need
You
him?
mean to tell me that Mourinho couldn't go to Eriksen and say, "Are you Christian Eriksen's brother?" Is that not going to work for him?
Maybe he's still waiting on that
Well, I think he's happy at the moment with Dele Alli in the 10 and Son and Mora.
one. Right.
With Eriksen coming off the bench as he did against Wolves. So I think if he could move him on, he probably will move him on. So, yeah.
Gab, want to weigh in on this?
If you get him to re-sign, on your terms, then he'll be an asset. But the reality is that in 2 weeks, you can go and you can start negotiating with clubs abroad. So no, I mean, I think as far as Eriksen is concerned, I think that ship has sailed.
Meanwhile, reasonable person.
How many questions? I thought you said you'd cut these down.
No, I said I had a long list today. Reasonable person for you, Stevie. Does the living legend, that is Steve Nicol, think that Leeds United, Leeds, will get promotion this year? They've been knocking,
You know what? I thought they
they've
were
been knocking on the door for
I
so long.
thought they were
haven't
absolute. At one point last year, I thought they were absolute certainties,
Yeah,
and
under
then
Bielsa.
they blew it big time.
Depends what time. It depends what date of the season Bielsa goes on one of his spying missions.
Yes.
After that, everything. They just ran out of gas last year.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this year, I think them and West Brom are
Yeah.
quite a stretch
already
ahead.
ahead,
Got
yeah.
themselves separated.
So I'm going to say yes this year. I think they're going to get up. And a big club as well. I mean, big club.
They ran into Frank Lampard's Derby County last year, didn't they, in the playoffs? Don't know why I added that, but
I don't know either.
we were wondering that as well.
Don't worry, you're not the
by
only
the
one
way-
thinking that.
I'm not alone in that department. Zach Hunter, following last week's most French debate, who's the most Scottish out of Craig and Stevie? I don't know how we would assess.
How do you judge it?
How do we judge that?
Well, I do think that.
we could have a drinking competition, but then that could take a while.
We'd be the last two standing. Nobody would know.
From an outsider's perspective,
Yes.
I would suggest that Craig may be a little bit more cosmopolitan than Stevie Nicol. Perhaps a man of the world, if you will.
Okay.
But it's a bit more suave.
Does that
Yeah.
make him more Scottish or less Scottish?
Well, not. I think Stevie's very Scottish.
I would,
and still
Because he
stuck.
lived in London.
I would say Stevie's more he is more likely to revert into
Yeah.
the Scottish twang than me.
Yeah.
Heavier. Where you'd be going, eh?
Don,
He also
you
hates
were.
England.
To be fair,
He also hates England.
hold
and
on,
I don't
what
hate
age were
England.
you when you left home?
16.
60. So you're still a Wayne.
That's what I'm saying. You're most Scottish.
So yeah, I'll go with that.
And yeah, you should be proud of that.
Well, to be fair, he's got more of a Scottish look.
Yeah.
Would you not say that? You know, he's your generic Scotsman.
I can see
Red
the tilt
hair,
on this
red
man.
face. Pale skin.
Pale
Yeah.
skin.
Factor 150, everything, the full lot when he's on holiday, umbrella, the lot, full booner. No sun. That's proper Scotsman, that. Like,
Don, I'm thinking you may be well qualified to weigh in on this.
What was it? Oh, what was that guy's name? What
Well,
was that
it's
guy?
got to be
Fabian,
Stevie,
what was
isn't it?
his
I mean,
name?
if you're talking about the guys who have travelled around the world, I mean, obviously Craig's been to the San Siro and Stevie hasn't. So straight away, it has to be Stevie Nicol.
So that makes Stevie more Scottish. 'Cause
Listen to this guy. Who's the guy with the big blonde flowing locks? Fabian or Fabian or
Fabio.
Fabio? Here is Fabio.
Who's Fabio?
Who's Fabio? No, just hey, you're the
Fabio.
you're the
Fabio.
He's
absolute
Italian.
spit.
Well, he doesn't sound Scottish to me.
No, he's not. He's definitely not.
Where are we going with this? What's it?
All you need to know is you're the absolute double
Well, I'm just saying.
Fabio.
If you
That's all you
were,
need to know.
if you were, what's it?
Gab knows Fabio.
If you were
I think he knows him
recreating a
personally.
Scotsman, he's like, you know, he's not far off it. You know, it's like, he's pretty much it in a nutshell. Archetypical Scottish person. So he wins.
All right.
He wins.
Okay. Debate one. Done and dusted. We will be back with you tomorrow. Lots of games to sink our teeth into. Barca, Real Madrid, Bayern, Juve.
What about Frank Lampard and Derby County?
Some, some Carabao Cup too thrown in, if you're lucky.
Is that the only other team that played last year?
Frank Lampard's Derby.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.